Guys, what's going on? Somebody El Piso back once again. Listen, I'm gonna talk about something today. Something up naturally, because I started the video. I'm gonna talk about something today that's a little, might be a little controversial, but it's something I've been thinking about for a very, very long time, and I've just been trying to find a way to put it in words. So let's break it down to you guys right now. Like, comment, subscribe. We're gonna get into it right now. Last night, I was doing a live stream and I was in this Turkish cafe. For the people that always frequent the live streams, you guys know why I was over there. I had my little fix, a tea, Turkish tea, and just the general, ambiance. By the way, for the people that are new to the channel, I'm from New York. I live in Brooklyn, and I grew up here for most of my life, with the exception of post-high school, where I lived a year and a couple months in London, and in 2022 when I lived in Colombia for 3 months. But I've also traveled a lot, quite extensively, to Australia as well, Canada, Switzerland, France, so on and so forth. I was finally taking notice of the people around me, and I realized that I was the only single guy in there. I was the only guy by myself, albeit talking to my phone, for the live stream, like I was Joaquin Phoenix from Her. And everyone else, they had their families. They had a girl that they were going out with. They were generally in conversation. And I don't lack charisma by any means. For some reason, I lack friends. I don't have, any intimacy. Actually, I really don't. It's kind of crazy. It's just a thing that I've come to get used to living in the United States. But then I also came to a conclusion last night. Even though I'm American, I have an American passport, American citizenship, I don't think that any of the benefits that America grants that I've truly relished in and partook in. I feel honestly that I've been born in this country, but I've never actually partook in any of the benefits that this country affords to its citizens. Probably the only thing, having grants to pay for a bachelor's degree education. I guess that's a New York thing. I think that varies from local government to local government, or state government to state government. But I was able to get a Pell Grant and a TAP Grant to pay for the entirety of my bachelor's degree program, and I got a degree in business administration. But I've never actually done anything with the degree. I've never used the degree in my employment history. I've always had very, very menial tasks. I was always on the bottom rung of the ladder. I always worked in retail, worked for a restaurant. I worked as a tailor. For a little while, I worked as a yoga studio manager that never got a raise. I'm telling you, man, the United States has never, ever been favorable to me at all. And I've realized that, I'm not an American. I'm not American at all. And I've never been patriotic. Even though, once upon a time when I was younger and I was more ignorant about, how America really works, I think I was probably I was blindly patriotic because I was like, it's America. This is the best country because they said it. And forgetting that I traveled extensively and there was a lot of benefits that I enjoyed in those other countries that I forgot about conveniently staying in America for so long. I'm just an American citizen, but I'm definitely not American. I know a lot of you guys are feeling this way too if you guys live in America because, listen, the job market sucks, social relationships suck, interpersonal, intimate as well. Especially, I'm talking to the guys because, this is a male channel. We do have female fans too, but this is primarily for the dudes. We chat to people and we just sort of get rejected. We get ignored on the street. Guys, I'm telling you, when you are social, you realize, you're trying to get a woman's number and whatnot. You will go up to a girl and ask her for her number, or you try to get to know her and then you ask her for her number, and then you think that you're in, and then suddenly it's going to be sunshine, lollipops, and rainbows, right? With the trajectory of the relationship. But that's not true at all. It's absolutely not true. In the United States, men get rejected a whole lot, and a lot of the women here, they only date a small group of men on the top that make a lot of money, which are very fine and open with swapping women at their whim. A lot of the situations that you could attribute, a lot of the politics, this new wave of feminism that's been around for the past couple of years, that could definitely be attributed to the actions and motivations of specific men at the top of society that women are only connecting, trying to socially brush shoulders with because they're hypergamous in nature. They just want to have people that are better than them. Because women are doing so much better economically, scholastically, they are graduating colleges at way higher rates than men. They are on their track to making more money than men. They have much more bigger and much more intricate social groups than men. To do better than those women are going to require, on average, men that are in average. And this is prevalent in the United States, in Western Europe, in Australia, In Canada, a lot of men are feeling very, very disparate. And it is no error, by no mistake, that a lot of these guys get into a lot of behaviors of extremism. Like, we start to look at very, very radical points of view and then validating the reason for our existence because of, one reason or another. I think that a lot of this stuff is prevalent in the United States, and I think that it's always been the case. It's always been the case for a very long time, at least. For me, as someone that is an American, I wanted to be successful. I wanted to follow the American dream. I was young. I'm telling you, I had dreams of going to college, completing college, which I did. I had dreams of getting a house. One of them streets in the city, 5 something Leonard Street. It's like this Jenga building. It's a building full of condominiums, and they're super expensive. But I figured if I followed the American dream, if I continued going to college, if I continued working, eventually I'll be able to afford these kind of things. And I realized, like, at the end, like, seriously, I'm not at the end. I'm 33 now, but I've realized that I am no closer to reaching this success, reaching this idea of the American dream than I was 10 years ago. My savings are horrible, right? Because the expenses to live here in the United States are incredibly high, especially in New York. There are seldom any benefits to living here socially, because a lot of the people here tend to be very, very cliquish, and they judge people based off how they dress, or even based down to your skin color, maybe based off your religion. And this is a prevalent thing here in the United States. I have experience going overseas. In 2023, I went to Mexico, I went to Colombia, and I had a really great time in both those places. I went to Mexico City, and I had a really good time. There's a lot of like misinformation and propaganda or negative propaganda about these countries, which exists to a certain degree. But in terms of the social aspect, I think that these places are way more healthy to the psyche of the individual male that are from these Western societies than the Western societies that they were born in. Colombia is very, very nice. Granted, if you know the language and you're very, very open about your intentions, and you are not, indulging in the really nefarious, dark industries that these countries are generally known for, then you're going to have a very, very good time. Women are going to be very, very receptive to you. You're going to have good social groups, so on and so forth. I have more friends that I talk to from Mexico City and Colombia than I do here in New York. And that is kind of insane. My thing is, the American dream is really a lie. It's really like a system that is designed to have us constantly work for building up a system that is not in the individual's best self-interest. We pay all this money in taxes. A lot of those things go to policies that we don't directly vote into, like say the migrant crisis. We started paying more money in taxes around the end of 2023 to go towards this migrant crisis. And there are still a lot of crimes in New York that are perpetuated by these migrants, and we definitely did not vote for these initiatives to come into play, or vote for our tax dollars to go towards those initiatives, right, for helping the migrants. Things are just way more expensive. Apartments in general are just, especially here in New York, a 1-bedroom apartment, the average price for that is $3,000 a month. Where the hell are you gonna find $3,000 a month to pay for a 1-bedroom apartment? By the way, that's just one expense. You also have to pay for Wi-Fi, because if you're not connected to the internet, what are you even doing? You have to pay for your phone, you have to pay for groceries, you have to pay for recreational things. Well, a lot of us are not even having that situation, because a lot of men are just not even dating nowadays because it's just too expensive. And women are not even choosing us to begin with, because we're average men. Women don't like average anymore. Social media has pumped them up to like above average and expect and are entitled to above average, even though they themselves en masse, by the way, these are all backed by empirical data. They don't go to the gym. A lot of them are overweight, and a lot of them have very, very huge egos. This is just the situation that we are here in the midst of, living in the United States, living in New York City. Imagine, guys, I'm saying this, the situation, at least for the average man, right, living in like New York, for example, you're paying $3,000 a month. Somehow, if you're able to scrounge that together, paying $3,000 a month for an apartment. You go outside, by the way, it's very, very dirty in New York. There's litter everywhere. People don't really care about the cleanliness of this city. So it's dirty everywhere. We have a rat plague as well. You try to talk to people, people are not very, very talkative. Of course, in the main parts, like this neighborhood, no, they're not very talkative at all. They're very cliquish. They stay within their own sort of groups. Generally, it's just hard to have solid mental health because there's fear of danger happening at every single turn in this city. This is just the reality that we have to deal with living here. And this is just an American reality. I'm not saying that it doesn't exist in other countries, because it probably exists there as well. Growing up as young men in this world, trying to live and thrive in a society where marriage is not guaranteed. A solid relationship is not guaranteed to you. Being able to pay for your own and afford your own home, that's definitely out of the question. If you follow the idea of the American dream, you went to college, you did high school and everything, you have your little group of friends and whatnot, and you think that you're gonna be able to buy a house, I'm telling you that's just simply not the case. And you have to remove that delusion as soon as possible in order to plan out what to do next with your personal lives, with your respective lives. There is no way I can afford a home in the United States. That's just out of the question. I'm unemployed now. I've been unemployed for the last 2 months, and before that I was working for the city, and I wasn't really making a lot of money. Of course, I stayed there because there's a chance that you can get a raise every single year, and that's good and all, and you have job security for the most part, after you pass the probation period, which I didn't, which is why I'm, unemployed now. But assuming that I stayed in that position and I was getting raises year upon year, there is still no way, not only I can't afford a car, I'm not able to afford a home. And without these things, even if you had these things, dating is still not a viable option for you because that's expensive. And like I said before, women expect way more. They expect above average. They're entitled to above average now, even though they themselves are not above average in terms of looks, in terms of habits, in terms of economic behaviors, all of that stuff. Women accumulate the most debt in the United States. I'm saying this, guys, like this is what you need to do. This is the solution. Like I said, I traveled extensively. I lived in Colombia. Colombia is fire. If you be careful navigating the country, I went there twice. I went all around. I went to Medellin, I went to Cartagena, I went to Cali, I went to Bogota, and I have plans to go to Pereira, Barranquilla, other places. The place is very, very beautiful. The women take care of themselves. They actually are not generally overweight, right? That's one. Eastern Europe, that is an untouched gem. Of course, if you have your experiences, right, and you pay attention to the people that you invite in your space, and you just sort of do introspective looks on your behavior, on the development of your character, objective looks, you are going to go to these countries and do extremely well. There's a lot of situations here in the United States where we are fit, like we go to the gym, we have a solid head on our shoulders, we don't amass a lot of debt doing silly social activities that don't have any personal benefit, right? And a lot of us, we tend to control our drinking. A lot of women are drinking way more than men nowadays, which is pretty interesting considering the times. If you control your financial habits, you go to the gym, you brush your teeth and whatnot, you get checkups, you are generally, I'm not saying you're entitled to being completely successful with women, but I don't think that you should have as hard of a time as a lot of men have now in the United States and Western Europe and Australia and Canada. Absolutely not. Absolutely not. I think that we now need to aim our eyes overseas. We need to leave the Western world behind. Dead serious. Maintain your passport, because obviously the American salary is unparalleled. To some degree. I mean, Switzerland, I think, has it beat. Keep your American passport, have access to the jobs in the United States, right? Go overseas, stop dating here, stop trying to look for some sort of change, some sort of gem amongst them, because you are not going to find it. If there is not an impetus to evolve, the organism will seldom evolve because there is no reason to. That is with the situation here. A lot of the women do not want to better themselves. They expect more, and they're not themselves more. They are not above average. For me, the overweight issue is crazy. I'm telling you, the fact that you're not going to the gym and it's 2024, it's like, what are you even doing, right? What are you doing with yourself? This sort of went into a really long-winded rant about the state of the United States and dating and social behaviors. But I think that this is something that we should take into consideration. I know a lot of us are American, man. We have a lot of Europeans too. But a lot of us men, we feel this issue in our various societies, our various Western societies. We are just not getting the results that we think that we should get, especially with what we put in. We follow these ideas of what it means to be successful. We went through the rite of passage and we have gotten nothing. I'm saying this, guys, we need to concentrate going overseas. Concentrate on getting the heck out of your countries and trying something different. Assimilate into different cultures. China is crazy right now. I follow this channel on YouTube, China Varnish, where there's a lot of Chinese men that are just not dating whatsoever because the Asian women, not only they're like close to 40, they have all these expectations about marriage and about getting married. And remember, a relationship is not something that's supposed to benefit the individual on a mental and emotional level. It's supposed to benefit the individual on an economic level too. If you are someone that controls your spending habits, then that's a good thing. That's a great thing. That's wonderful. And that should be lauded as such. But a lot of the what I've been hearing on the videos I've been watching on China Varnished, like these Asian women, the Chinese women, they have so many wants and they expect so much and they're like old as hell. Like, as a final statement, because this video went on way too long, I think that we need to start, if you're not feeling like you're getting what you deserve here in your various Western societies and your various Western cultures, please consider getting the heck out of those aforementioned societies and cultures. I have a lot of plans this year. I mean, it's a new year. We're still in the like the first 2 weeks of January here in New York, Windsor Terrace, Brooklyn. And I definitely would like to move out of the United States, for sure. That's always been a plan. It will always be a plan. And it's not, I think months from now, it's still going to be a plan. The only thing that is separating me from that reality is just getting work. And that's due to a whole other bunch of reasons that I've definitely talked about on the channel. So look at the other videos talking about that. But honestly, guys, I'm telling you, based on my experiences and the anecdotes of a lot of other guys too, dating in the United States is just not it anymore. It's just, we're just losing, especially as a person that they have emotional intelligence. They're pretty smart about their spending habits, which is most important, right? And they take care of themselves. They're not overweight, and you're not getting success in the United States or Western Europe or Canada or Australia. Like, yeah, yo, it's time to go. Dead serious. There are women out there for sure that really take care of themselves, for sure. And they are interested still in having a family or just interested in getting to know the person on the other table without making such a focus on how much money that person brings to the table. Just have these things in mind, man, for sure. Just think about these things, man. And with that being said, that's all I have to say today, guys. If you guys enjoy that kind of content, like, comment, subscribe, share the video with some peers. Let's know, ever let this place get you down. Man, this place, I'm telling you, like, especially here, like in Park Slope, yo, this place has always sucked, for sure. They go on and on with their lives, living in this echo chamber and sort of rejecting everyone that doesn't echo these same points of view. And you don't want to be in a society like that. As individuals that live in this world, we want to be challenged. We want to have a conversation, like, you know, we want to have discourse about certain things, and we want to see the efforts be rewarded. Our efforts not go in vain, you know? This is how I'm seeing it, man. This is how I'm seeing it. So stay radiant, guys. I'm going to see you guys in the next video.